Soup, there it is. And with that being said, it's official, the worst joke of 2022 on this channel. I'd like to give a shout out to my lack of guidance, also my delusional self-worth, and of course you all for somehow putting up with this for the entire year. We almost didn't make it. I was getting a little nervous. We was getting close to the end of the year and I hadn't topped myself yet. But thanks to my awful self and you, we get to celebrate together with tomato soup. Today on Poor Choices, we are making a homemade tomato soup. It is easy to make and way better than the canned stuff, and we're gonna put together a little fancy grilled cheese sandwich to go along with it. And I cannot wait till next year because man, the pure lack of quality of jokes I have for these intros. Oh, you thought I was here? I'm going here, baby. All right, we are starting off with 2 shallots, roughly diced because we are going to be blending these later, so you don't have to get too precise here. And if you don't have shallots, you can absolutely use just 1 regular onion. I'm just a big fan of shallots. We've also got 1 large, roughly chopped carrot, 2 large cloves of garlic. Originally, I actually just was gonna leave these whole, but then I decided last minute to chop them up. So do that as well. So that's pretty much all the prep work that we have to do for our vegetables. Again, I'm just using carrot, onion, and garlic, but you could put like fennel bulb in there, you could put celery, you could put to your heart's content, whatever vegetable you want. It is your soup after all, but that's what I have going on here. And I just wanna talk about our tomatoes. I am using these San Marzano tomatoes because it is December. Tomatoes typically are best in season in like August and September, but I live in Los Angeles where no one eats soup in August and September unless you want to die from the inside out. So I'm using these canned ones because typically they are canned right as they are at their ripest. At least that's what I'm led to believe. And so I've got 2 cans of these. These will be the stars of our show. If you are, however, doing this in August and September, I highly recommend roasting your tomatoes. It just brings out a completely different flavor. And maybe next year, if I remember, I'll do a video for that. But you could always also just make this in September and then freeze it and then eat it in December when you really want it. It's up to you. But these are our tomatoes, so let's get to cooking. And then in a Dutch oven, I've got 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I know it's a lot of butter, but trust me, you need it here. I tend to always go with unsalted with recipes because I want to control my saltiness, and I can always salt later on. And I want to toss in a couple of glugs of olive oil, really just enough to coat the bottom of the Dutch oven. And you should do this over medium heat, which I forgot to change the setting on my induction top, so it started to brown the butter, but it's all good. We'll then throw in our shallots and carrot and saute them for a few minutes till soft. I also added some salt for the first time here. Then throw in our chopped garlic, let that go for about 30 seconds, and you'll of course begin to smell it. Then it's 2 giant tablespoons of tomato paste. This will help keep our soup nice and red, but also add some more concentrated tomato flavor. And we're gonna saute that for about a minute. Then I added about a teaspoon of oregano and our San Marzano tomatoes, and I just used my spatula to kind of break them up because again, remember, we're going to blend it so you don't have to get too crazy with it. And that was 2 cans of San Marzano tomatoes, sauce and all. Once we've got those tomatoes broken down, we'll add in 2 cups of chicken stock here. If you want to keep it vegetarian, obviously you can go with the vegetable broth. And if you want it vegan, you can use a vegan butter up at the top and a vegetable stock or just water. Then I added a bay leaf and a sprig of basil. Also, is it called a sprig of basil? I don't know, but that's what I'm calling it. Let it come to a boil and then lower to a simmer for 30 minutes to 1 hour. I just slightly covered mine with the lid and let it do its thing. After that hour, we will remove our bay leaf and sprig of basil and then start the blending. I'm using this immersion blender that was gifted to me, but a regular blender is totally fine. You could, I guess, also maybe use a food processor. You just might have to do it in batches, but you just want to get it nice and smooth to your liking, which this consistency worked for me. Now it's flavor time. This is going to need some serious salting and sugar. If you're unsure of how much you need for your liking, just do a tablespoon at a time, mix it up, taste, and then keep adding till you like what you're tasting. And when I say this needs some salt, I mean, I really need some salt. I also added a dash of balsamic vinegar at the end and mixed it all up, and voila! That is tomato soup. Very simple, very easy. I did add some heavy whipping cream once I plated it. Totally optional, but I do enjoy creaminess to my tomato soup. All right. Oh, all right, this just made an executive decision for me. Yes, our soup is done. I made some grilled cheese sandwiches and honestly, super easy. It was just some smoked mozzarella, some fontina, and some Parmesan that I just shredded and mixed all together. Of course, put bacon in my grilled cheese sandwich, which technically makes it not a grilled cheese sandwich. I guess it makes it melt, but I don't care. You grilled cheese police people. And then I just put like a little bit of heavy whipping cream in here, really just for decoration. But if you want to make it on the creamier side, which I guess would technically make it a tomato bisque, you can absolutely put heavy cream in here. But since my piece of bread has already found its way to dip in, I'm gonna eat this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna get in an argument with y'all about whether you should use butter or mayo for your grilled cheese browning. I use butter because I want this to be more of a comfort food. And man, it is slapping. I think it works way better than mayo and me. But if you want to do mayo, go for it. Also do your own cheese blend. You can just keep straight up classic American. Hey, we have a Patreon. It's down in the description. $1 a month is always asked for. It just helps really support the channel and buying foods and doing all sorts of things that we need to do. Let me know what combinations of cheeses that you all do, because I may do a grilled cheese series, but I can tell you this one is really, really good. And I'll be honest with you, this wasn't even intentional. I just grabbed the cheese that was on sale that was in blocks and I shredded it myself because the stuff in the bag obviously wouldn't melt as good as the stuff if you buy it in the blocks and shred it yourself, so FYI. But man, this is phenomenal. This is a great soup. Again, good for this month, next month. And if you really want some good tomatoes, wait till August, September, and you can obviously make it ahead of time. Roast those tomatoes. You can make it ahead of time and then freeze it and then eat it anytime you want to in the actual winter. So little life hack for you. So I'm gonna eat more of this and I will see you all next week. Oh, also by the way, sorry, I always forget this, wine. A sherry wine would actually go really, really good with this. I don't have any. I actually have a Sauvignon Blanc that I've been sipping on, but it's over there off camera and I'm not gonna go get it because that would require me to put this sandwich down. And I don't want to do that, so. I'll see you all next time.